This is a short tutorial on how to create your online course outline and schedule. So you're going to need a few things. You're going to need your online course uh, schedule template and then access to the internet, and we're going to look at a couple web pages here. So I'm going to just um, use weeks in my course, and you could change the heading. So if this was to be modules or some other way of organizing your course, I'm going to go with dates for the winter semester in this case. The outcomes I'm going to get from the CARP document or the curriculum document for the course. I'm going to list the assignments, and then I'm going to have a due date. This has an example of Sunday at 11:59 p.m. and that's probably true in the majority of online courses, but that is something that you will decide. So I'm going to go ahead and go with a full 15-week course. Your course might be accelerated. It might have a late starting date. It might be a summer course that is 10 weeks or some other combination, but I'm going to go ahead and go with 15 weeks. And then I'm going to look at the academic calendar to see what dates I need to put in the dates column. I'm not going to put them all in this example, but I'm just going to kind of look at the start and end dates of the course, when final exams are, and then I'll go back in later and fill in those dates based on a calendar. So I've got my 15 weeks in, and I'm going to go to the internet, and I'm going to go to grcc.edu/calendar. In this case, I'm going to be using example for winter 2013, and I see that the classes start on January 14th on a Monday, which works out well, and my class is going to end each week on Sunday. So if I go back to my schedule here, that's the dates that I have for the first week, and then I can go and fill in each subsequent week. Now I want to look down here for any breaks. There's a mid-semester break here, and then I want to make sure I get that in the schedule. And notice it's Monday through Sunday, so typically the online course doesn't meet during that week. And then at the end here, it looks like I have final exam week, which is starting on April 29th through May 2nd. So I'm going to go back in and put in 04/29 through 05/02, and I'm just going to double check that. Oh, it goes to Thursday, May 2nd, and then grades and commencement is May 3rd. So I'll go back in and fill in those days later. The next column is for says outcome or outcomes, and it's possible that I may take several weeks to address one outcome. I might do an outcome a week, or maybe I address multiple outcomes in 1 week, so they would go here. There's bullets for that. And so in that case, I'm going to go to the internet again. I'm going to go to the college CARP site, which is at grcc.edu/carp. And then I'm going to go to approved course curriculum documents, and I'll just do a search for one. I'm going to look up some business courses. I'll just pick the first one here, BA 101. So it says BA 101 is Business and Technical English 1, and then on my template here at the top it says course number and title, so I'm going to go ahead and put in BA 101, and then Business and Technical English here. Alright, so I've got my number and title there, I've got my weeks outlined, I'm going to put my dates in, and then I'm going to go back to the CARP document, and I have my student learning outcomes listed here. And like I said, there might be multiple outcomes addressed in a week. The outcomes may not be covered in the order they're listed in the CARP, but just for the sake of example, I'm going to pick one. And I'm going to put that in as my outcome for the week. And then I get over to the assignment area. Now, each week I'm going to have some presentation. Perhaps that's something from me, like a lecture capture or some document that I put together. It might be some narrated slides or some other way I'm going to present the content. Maybe I'm going to have them read a chapter from the book. So I could put read chapter 1. Or I could get more specific. Maybe I only want them to read certain pages. And then I want them to go to a website for some other resources. So I'm going to have that, the presentation. I'm also going to have some opportunities for practicing the skills that they're learning. So in this case, maybe I want them to complete some kind of learning activity and assess themselves, or perhaps I want them to go on the discussion board and be presented with a scenario that they have to respond to. So I'll go ahead and use that as an example. And I'm going to have an assessment, and that you can assess in lots of different ways. It could be on the discussion board, it could be some type of quiz. Now, one thing I want to look at in this document is the area where it says assessment of learning outcomes. And in this case, since it's a writing class, I have quite a bit of writing. I've got some tests and quizzes. So in this case, for an example, I'm just going to say that I've got a series of quizzes before I have a major test. So I'm going to say that they submit quiz 1 here. And then I'm going to just go through that for the rest of the outcomes, giving an estimate of how many weeks it may take to cover one outcome or multiple outcomes. I'm going to rough in my assignments and then list my due dates. If it's a hybrid course, perhaps I have some activities that I want to specifically identify as being done online and then what's to be done on campus. For example, maybe they review a video, post to the discussion board, and then come in for some type of group activity. As I look at the CARP for this course, I can see that the instructional strategies do involve some type of group work. So perhaps at some point during the semester, when I know that I have a group activity related to an outcome, I can plug that in. And that activity could be done completely online if it lends itself to doing online, or it could be a campus activity. And then I'd want to specify where and when that activity takes place. So as a result, I might have one deadline for all assignments, or I might have interim deadlines during the week for an online component and a campus component. So I'm going to fill all that out and make sure it's clear to the learner that the last week here is not a complete week, so they only have to Thursday to do the final exam. And I'm also going to want to indicate whether that activity is to be done on campus, if it is, where, when, what they need to do to have it proctored, and if it's going to be an online activity, to be specific about that and what the final exam would actually cover. So again, I need to put together the schedule using the template, access to the CARP website, and also the calendar website, so I can get an overview of the academic semester.